Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your daily dose of zombies news from the game and community here on COD Zombies HQ. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We have got a packed show for you today with new Easter eggs and a message from Treyarch about zombies that I think you're going to want to hear. So without further ado, let's kick things right off with our first story of the day. Guys, after many days with it going unsolved, one of the biggest unsolved Easter eggs here on Die Maschine can finally be called totally solved. Fellow Zombies YouTuber Just Another UK Gamer and his crew, the giant zombie hand Easter egg is solved, with its reward being a full and automatic upgrade, bringing your weapon up to the highest tier legendary status. The way to actually complete the egg is fairly simple. You just have to take out 15 zombies using the giant hand while it's swiping, and that might take a little while to do because you can only do it in the dark ether. But if you end up completing this Easter egg, it might actually be really worth it if you want to upgrade your starting loadout weapon to the highest tier very quickly, out using lots and lots of salvage, which will probably take you into the 20s or even 30s to get it upgraded fully. Again, a huge congrats to Just Another UK Gamer for finding this one out. He's been searching for how to do it specifically for a few days now, so it's only natural that he's the one to find it. He actually found it live on stream. I'll leave a link to that down in the description so you can check out his and his buddies' live reaction to finding it out yourself. Now moving on to our second story of the day. The man, the myth, the legend, Rich Killer is back with another cipher solve. I don't know how he's able to do it, but he's just crushing it, getting these intel ciphers solved, giving you lore guys in the zombies community that much more to work with. Now moving on to our third story, a lot of you have noticed that there's a few zombies staples perks that are missing here in Cold War. Obviously, there's double tap root beer. Another one, which I know a lot of people are really missing, maybe even more than double tap in some cases, is the perk Mule Kick, where you're able to carry 3 primary weapons at the same time here in Zombies. And while we don't have any way to officially get Mule Kick in the game yet, it seems like there is a way to somehow mimic its effects, demonstrated by Reddit user Raygunner253 or that guy Bray, who after getting revived noticed that the M1911 you get when going down is still in his inventory when he got back up, along with his other 2 primary weapons, giving him 3 weapons total, a free Mule Kick. Now, no one's 100% sure on how to replicate this. This very likely is just a bug in the game right now, but it does show that the effects of Mule Kick are possible here in Black Ops Cold War, which would make sense as it's kind of understood that Treyarch's going to be adding new perks to this game, Mule Kick probably being one of them, and now we know that in some way, shape, or form, its functionality is already coded into the game, where you're able to carry 3 primary weapons here in Zombies. Next up, and I think you guys will get a kick out of this, remember the distant monster we've been talking about for a few days, the huge Panzer mortar looking like beast that's prowling around in the forests here on Die Maschine? Well, yesterday someone was able to get up close and personal with it in the daytime to get a better look on exactly what this distant monster looks like. Well, today the aptly named Reddit user Boobface decided to do the only thing possible to get rid of this giant monster, to show it what exactly Omega Group is capable of by nuking it, by being able to spawn the distant monster on the map in daytime and then triggering the ending cutscene. We get this scene of the distant monster probably going down for the count, no revival. You can make him out in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, so rip the distant monster. But a big part of the community believes, and so do I, that this isn't the last time we'll be seeing him. Next up, Treyarch is giving everybody that purchased the game a free Nuked weapon bundle that you can redeem in game starting in a few days and until December 3rd. It includes a weapon blueprint for my personal favorite weapon in the game, the Howler, so be sure to go ahead and pick that up in the store when it's available. Okay, final story of the day. This is a big one. One of the major issues associated with Cold War Zombies right now, and I think this is felt by pretty much everybody in the community, is that the progression for both ranking up and the weapon progression is extremely slow, especially when compared to multiplayer, where you rank up a whole lot quicker in a whole lot less time for no apparent reason. Well, Treyarch did give us the reason, their rationale for why that is, and it's something I don't agree with at all. But let's actually look at the leading theory for how weapon progression actually works in this game and why it's so slow before we get to their reasoning for it. So Awesome Zombies Twitch streamer Smart Guy has been going for all the camos in the game, and when he's been doing that, he's been doing a bunch of experimentation with the XP rates for weapons in zombies. And as a result of that experimentation, this is the leading theory of why XP is so slow, especially in later rounds here in Zombies, where he says, quote, "So after talking with chat and more testing, it seems more than just a flat percentage XP nerf the higher rounds you get. Like, round 1 equals 100% XP per zombies, whereas round 30 you only get 50% of the XP per zombie." And I personally think the percentage of XP per zombie is actually a lot lower than 50% at round 30. So first of all, what does this mean for you? Well, in the early rounds, if you want to level up your weapons quickly, unfortunately you can't use the time-honored tradition of meleeing in the first few rounds. You've got to actually use your weapon to get the maximum percent of XP per zombie. It also means the higher in the rounds you get, the less XP you'll be earning per zombie kill than you were in the lower round. So maybe there's gonna need to be some testing here, but maybe the best strat might end up being leaving the game at an earlier round than you normally would, then restarting to build up XP a lot faster. And now we get to see Treyarch's reasoning for why this is so slow, where a Twitter user asked Treyarch's game designer Tony Flame, "Tony, it takes a whole game to go up one weapon level round 40 with a triple packed XM4 and it only got one level." So Tony replied, "Which weapon level was it? Higher weapon levels could be appropriate. It's been a huge challenge to offer PvE progression, zombies progression, that feels rewarding, but this is important, but even more importantly, is not abused." That second part, that even more importantly is not abused, is basically Treyarch's reason for why earning XP in zombies is so slow. By not being abused, Treyarch basically means that in zombies, because of the plethora of glitch spots and different out-of-map locations, which I guess they knew would be in the game, they feel like because there's a chance that some zombie player might end up abusing glitch spots or out of bounds spots, that the whole of the zombies game mode should be nerfed in terms of XP progression to prevent those players from gaining an unfair advantage over, I guess, everybody else. Like, don't want those players going into a glitch spot, ranking up their weapons, and then hopping into multiplayer with a bunch of attachments. I guess that's the rationale, which part of me does understand, but this really seems like a case of punishing an entire community for the actions of a very small percentage. And even within that small percentage that are using glitches and out of the map spots, they're not really hurting anyone in terms of XP progression. It's probably really annoying if you're in a multiplayer game with someone doing that, but if they're just sitting there ranking up by themselves, a very wise Canadian man once said, that's just the way she goes. But there you have it, Treyarch's reasoning, their rationale for nerfing XP gain rates in zombies. It's extremely annoying, it's kind of frustrating, and a little bit insulting that they would do that to this community, but the good news is it's definitely an issue that can be solved in the future, and I would expect if they do tweak the XP gain rates here in Zombies, it would probably end up going live with the first season of Cold War on December 13th. Also, to comment on the background gameplay for today's video, if you guys weren't aware, I primarily play games here on the PC. This is PC footage of Zombies. Before this point, I didn't really have the capability to record 60 FPS footage of Zombies gameplay. That has since changed. I personally feel a lot more comfortable on keyboard and mouse than with the sticks, and that's why in future PC gameplay of Zombies here on D Machina, I feel like I want to hold down spots of this map that people basically never go to. Holding out inside the bunker, in the top 2 floors of the Nuked bunker, in the swamp, places that basically aren't the crash site and the yard, which basically in every single gameplay of this map is the only places you'll see people training zombies and just basically the whole whole time. Which I get it, it's because those are the safest areas of the map itself that you're least likely to get into trouble with, but at least for me personally, with the sensitivity of keyboard and mouse, I can feel a lot more confident playing zombies in a close quarters scenario than I do on the controller. So I wanted to cover that for anybody that might be interested in the change of platform for the gameplay. I'm still probably going to be switching between PC and PS4 gameplay for future videos. But guys, that wraps up today's video. If you did enjoy it, hey, consider hitting that thumbs up button down below, and why not subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I love bringing you the latest and greatest zombies news as it happens, but I want to thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you with another zombies news video tomorrow. Peace.